There's never been a fall from grace as brutally extreme as that of BSA. At one point in its history, BSA was the largest producer of motorcycles on Earth. These proud motorcycles spanned all corners of the globe until finally in 1972, that's it. It was over. A string of bad decisions meant that this once extremely proud name was no more. And one of the models that was a stalwart that lasted through a large chunk of BSA's history was the BSA Bantam. Started out in 1948 and went through all the way to the bitter, depressing end in 1971. And now, 54 years since the world last saw a Bantam rolling off the production line. It's here. I only found out 1 week ago about the launch of this bike. I had no idea this was coming. I was called up, or emailed I should say, by BSA 2 weeks ago saying, do you want to come to the launch of 2 models of motorbikes? I knew about one of them, but when I saw the name Bantam on the email, that took me by complete surprise. This is, as far as I'm riding now, near enough a world exclusive. It depends who gets their videos out first, but here it is. The world first BSA Bantam 350. I got all of the specs around about 30 minutes ago at the bike shed in London. So here we go. 330cc, 29 horsepower, single cylinder, liquid cooled engine. This is a bike that has to be able to attract a hugely wide variety of people. Everyone from people wanting to get into biking, to people returning to biking, to people who just want cheap thrills in a stylish package. This has to be the bike that genuinely solidifies and cements BSA back on the map. It's not an easy task coming out with a bike like this. This is a bike that has to appeal to the masses at its core as a mode of transport. So it has to be practical, it has to be attainable, it has to be affordable. So being able to combine all of those things is a really tall order. But I think that certainly from a visual point of view, and people always buy with their eyes first, BSA have done it with the Bantam. Twin shocks at the back, tiny little rear lights with equally small indicators. Very nice exhaust with a little bit of BSA detailing. Foot pegs either side with a proper pillion seat. You know, it's a 350, 330cc, but that is extremely comfortable for a pillion. Lovely little BSA embossed logo. That's stitched in actually, sorry. Very nice there. Coming around to the front, you've got a quality flippable petrol cap there. Single headlamp with a little BSA logo on the front with those rubber gaiters. I'll bring you in a little bit closer for a few of these details. It's a very good and well proportioned bike. And this will come in at the budget end of the spectrum, just as I come in a bit closer. There are a few areas here around the engine casing where you can see that the bike has been built down to a budget. But so long as the price is right here, I don't really have any concern about that. Overall, it's a very good looking package, and overall, the quality is looking like it should be just about on point. To start it up, key in the side there, all fires up with this LCD display. It's got an M and an S. I'm pressing M now. I don't think that's mode, it's just trip A, B and odometer. I'm pressing S now and nothing happens. Pressing up, pressing down, and I don't know if anything happens there. This is as simple as you can get. Just showing the detail at the front there. BSA tank work, lovely with this BSA logo here on the side. And that is the rear profile there. Okay, let's see what this is like on the road. Starting it up. Nice little thump from that single cylinder engine there. Very good. The Bantam was a sales phenomenon in its day. This is largely due to two things. Number one, it was a good looking bike, but secondly, so damned easy to live with. And this bike is a worthy successor coming out of central London. Gridlock traffic, that low down weight of the bike and the eager handling means that you're full of confidence throwing the bike from left to right. It takes almost no time at all to feel completely at home with it. I found myself after about 5 to 10 minutes completely falling in love with this bike. You know, as a rider, within 2 minutes if you're going to like a bike, and immediately this feels like a bike that has been properly set up by enthusiasts. It's an incredibly impressive thing. To say that this is a retro bike and only label it a retro bike would be doing it a disservice. You have to look at this bike in terms of the Triumph Speed 400 and the Royal Enfield Guerrilla, certainly not the likes of the Royal Enfield Classic 350. This is a far, far more dynamic bike. It promotes spirited riding. The handling is just so light and beautiful. It's an incredibly eager bike. And that 29 horsepower, when compared to some other bikes in this category that hit around the 20 horsepower mark, that is a huge difference in this sector of bikes. Pushing up to close to 30 horsepower means that you can get up to 75 miles an hour on the bigger roads, and overtaking is very easy on this bike. It really does fall into a beautiful category here. Extremely usable, enough power in the real world, and so much fun. It's just good, honest, old school fun. What will be fascinating is where BSA priced this bike, but certainly from a riding, a dynamics point of view, it is a lovely, lovely thing to be on. I'm hugely impressed with this. For me now, this bike is a statement of intent. I can see no reason at all why this won't be going head to head with Royal Enfield. But what would I go for? If there was the Triumph Speed 400, Royal Enfield Guerrilla, and the BSA Bantam, which would I pick of the three? These three are going head to head. This will be a ferocious battle. If it were my money, and bear in mind I don't know the price of this, but my guess is it is going to be keenly priced, and I did not know what to expect on this ride out, this would be my pick of the three. If I compare it while analysing compared to the Royal Enfield Guerrilla, it's got that ease of use and lightness of handling that the Guerrilla has, in my mind, over and above the Triumph Speed 400. I'm a bigger fan of the Guerrilla than I am the Triumph, but this has a more handsome package in my eyes than the Guerrilla. This has just an extra nod to the old school over and above the Guerrilla. And when compared to the Triumph Speed 400, I just feel like this is a more accessible bike. It's easier to immediately jump on this bike and enjoy it. So this very smart package is where I'll be putting my money. BSA have been really busy. They've come out of nowhere, out with the Bantam. No one knew for sure this bike was coming along, and I can promise you Triumph and Royal Enfield are going to be nervously looking over their shoulder once they see these hit the showrooms. The real question for me now, on top of making this a very good motorbike, can BSA spread out across the country to gain that level of trust and respect? Can they get the number of outlets to sell bikes, the number of service outlets around the country rolled out in a fast enough pace where we as a consumer can trust, finally, BSA really is back? But if we look at it purely from a bike point of view, it's a corker.